Are you the guys on the beach who hate everything?
And I hate everything about you. Everything about you.
Hello and welcome back to Damn Good Movie Memories. I'm your host, Brian Davis. I took a few weeks off from doing movies to do fun things like college radio and music, and now it's the new year, and it's 2017, and what are we going to do? We're going to talk about movies that we hate, but everyone else seems to love. So this is a tough one, because inevitably you're going to, offend someone. Not really, but there are going to be picks here that people are going to be like, what? How could you choose that? Well, we are going to choose those. We're going to dare to choose. So usually, if you've listened to past episodes, I have a top 5, top 10 list. Well, I do have a top 5 list, but they're not in any order. So I'm not going to count them down. I'm just going to tell you my 5. And they're not scripted or anything. I'm just going to tell you the first thing that comes to my mind. Because frankly, these were all one and dones for me. So here we go. The first one that I thought of was Donnie Darko. Now, I don't know everyone loves this movie, but this is kind of those cult classics that are frowned upon. Like, you gotta see it, and if you don't get it, well, then you didn't watch it enough. Well, I watched it once, and it was interesting, but yeah, I didn't get it. So, if I'm one of those people that just didn't go deep enough for it, then that's my problem. All right, the next one I have on my list is Purple Rain, which is the Prince movie. Now, I realize Prince passed away in 2016, but even before this, I tried to rewatch Purple Rain because everyone, raves how it's one of the best musicals of the 80s. And yes, the music, excellent. And, the time and all that is excellent. The movie itself sucks. The acting sucks. I don't care about any of the characters in it, and I just remember falling asleep when I watched it again not too long ago, probably at least a year ago, and it just didn't do it for me. All right, the next one I have is Trainspotting. Now, I have never done heroin. I don't plan on doing heroin, and this movie definitely was not a a gateway to try heroin. It just, watching an hour and a half of people miserable, strung out, just didn't do it for me. Now, but people swear by this movie for whatever reason. If you're going to watch this movie over and over again, this probably isn't the podcast for you. All right, the next one is That Thing You Do, so the Tom Hanks movie. Now, this should have been right up my alley because I enjoy, music, rock and roll from the 50s, but again, this was one that started off good, and I love Tom Hanks, but for whatever reason, it just didn't resonate with me. It got boring, and everyone seems to love this movie, and I don't, so maybe I need to try it again, but yeah, That Thing You Do didn't do it for me. And lastly is Zoolander. Now, I love stupid comedies, and I really like Ben Stiller and Will Ferrell, Owen Wilson, love all these actors. But I couldn't get into Zoolander. I didn't get it. I remember watching it a long time ago and didn't do anything for me. And then I tried to rewatch again because Zoolander 2. No, it just didn't do it for me. It just the face and the blue steel and don't care. All right, let's listen to what other people had to say. You can send all the hate mail to me, and I'll come back to wrap this up a little bit later. For this week's episode, we had a nice cat. I want to be on.
Trying to steal our thunder.
Movies that you hate, but everyone adores. That just tells you, like, oh my God, you hate that movie? What's wrong with you?
Can it be noted right now that I'm racking an imaginary shotgun and putting it in my mouth? So
yeah, what comes to mind for these?
Anything with Will Ferrell.
Really?
I can't stand him. I don't know what it is. It's, why? Because as an actor, he has no range because he's never going to do anything but be Will Ferrell. So I'd have a hard time with that. I mean, I don't lose sleep over it hard time, but it's like my issue with Jennifer Aniston.
So give me one movie that everyone loves from him that you're just like, I still can't watch it because it's him. Like Elf or...
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Elf. I had
Old
old
school?
school. No, old school is different because Vince Vaughn's that, and that is in that, and that trumps.
And he's not the main character.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. But I can tolerate him in a little bit. But then he's in. Was he that Dewey whatever? Oh, I never saw Anchorman. He's an Anchorman, correct?
Yeah.
And
Talladega Nights?
oh,
Oh, man.
nightmare. And then is he in? Yeah, that one. No bueno. And so then, I can't even remember the titles because I run from them. I get very upset.
So
why is he so great? Can you tell me?
I find him, I don't know, I find him very funny.
He makes me uncomfortable. Like him and Jim Carrey. Like, stop. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like when they're just so awkward.
I get the Jim Carrey thing because he's just so over the top.
And we'll
Will Ferrell, yeah, he is over the top, but there's something, I don't know, that just I like. I can't imagine. We're off on this.
The only thing I can say he is funny when he's like, we're going streaking.
Right.
That everybody knows that. So the other person that I was always the freaking crowd.
Jennifer Aniston.
Well, yeah, Jennifer Aniston, but I've already
we
bagged.
established that,
right?
yeah.
But Russell Crowe for a long time,
Really?
and he did kind of flip me a little bit. So I've kind of can tolerate him a little bit, but there's something about him like, you arrogant, bloated bastard. Oh, so
he feels the same way.
I know, right? She's like, ah.
So of the Russell Crowe movies, like Gladiator, or do you hate?
I never saw it.
Okay.
Then there was also there was Dumb and Dumber, but that's
Okay.
Jim Carrey. That one, everybody is like loves it, and I'm like anything that's that like. He's just
You don't
so
really
awkward.
like comedies.
I don't.
Okay.
I know, right? I don't know what it is. Maybe because I'm funny all day,
Yeah.
and I'm like that's not even realistic. So like when I'm watching something, it's like I don't want to just. I have like this humorous banter like all day. Like we do it.
This is why you're on the show.
Fucking hilarious.
I agree.
I feel bad for people that aren't a friend.
Yeah.
But I Dumb and Dumber was. I know I've seen parts of it, but after a while, it just got to be like I'm gonna make it stop. Or the Borat movies.
Yeah, that's
Cohen.
cringe. Yeah.
Oh God, please make it stop. But yeah, and then you know what? You're gonna sail across this table and want to slap me. But The Princess Bride.
Really?
Never seen it.
Oh man.
And everybody and I just. But
so
I don't
why
think
haven't you seen it? Like what about it is alienating you without even?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem to interest me. First of all, it's a period piece, technically.
I don't like period pieces either, but this one always drew me in because it's a fun story.
I don't know if that people hyped it up too much or I just never was like, I don't know what it was, but I'm kind of like, it's like marriage. I get it.
Yeah.
That's what everybody, yeah. So, but yeah, mainly, and we're talking about actors.
Yeah.
I would have to say that if Will Ferrell and Jim Carrey and Jennifer Aniston were on a boat that sunk, I wouldn't be sad.
Yeah.
I'd be fine. So, I think that's about it for right now until the coffee kicks in.
Okay.
Then I'll find some
But
more.
you have no other movies that you just can't get into?
Do you remember movies that I was all freaking foaming at the mouth when you? I'm like, oh, I hate that person.
Well, no, because I'm just trying to think of Well, I think Princess Bride is the ultimate one for you because that's most people I've talked to that have seen it like it.
So should I see it? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Is this an intervention?
Yes, it's an intervention.
Are you going to come
Bride.
to me with a PowerPoint presentation on why I need to watch this movie?
It would be like if someone went up to you and said, you won't watch The Godfather just because everyone's seen The Godfather.
No, it's not even. It wasn't because everyone's seen it. It was because something about it just didn't appeal to me.
Okay. Well, look, I get the period piece things. Like, I've never seen Avatar.
Me neither.
Never
Oh my
did
God.
it for me.
Boring.
I never saw. I'm trying to think about it. I don't think I've even seen Gladiator. Like, there's just certain movies.
High
There you go.
Thank God someone's in my corner.
I've never seen a Harry Potter movie.
Yes, dude, I knew you were.
I've never seen a Lord of the Rings movie.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, I feel so much better about
Okay.
myself now. I thought I was the only one that was like, not in that club.
No. So that's I get it.
Waiting in line. And
but then
doing
people look at like my mom adores Harry Potter. She loves Lord of the Rings.
She reads the books.
Oh yeah, she loves all that stuff. But no, it doesn't do anything for me.
Oh my gosh, thank God, I'm not alone in the world.
Okay, so this week we are back to doing movies, and we're back with Dane, and he has graciously decided to come up with some movies that he doesn't like, but other people seem to love for some reason.
Yeah, and what came to mind when I heard this topic was no particular movie, but more a genre of movies.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of the teen dystopian films.
They're
Hunger
really popular
Games,
right now. Yeah.
Hunger Games, Divergent.
Uh-huh.
There's got to be another one. Maze Runner, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Which that one I found a little inherently interesting because of the maze.
Yeah.
You know, and it reminds me of Labyrinth or something, or Cube. Actually,
Yeah.
Those two things came to mind. But I feel like so much of the some of the best sci-fi ideas and the biggest budgets are sort of being squandered on an all teenage cast
That's true.
is sort of alienating.
Yeah.
And also,
Now, did you
at the
see-
risk of sounding
Yeah.
silly, because I know it's sci-fi and fantasy, also unrealistic.
Sure.
Just sort of, in what world do these teens have as well, I was going
power.
to say as much power as they do, and yet
Yeah.
in Hunger Games they're actually pretty powerless.
Sure.
In
You
the
didn't read
Divergent
any of the-
series,
You didn't
they
read any
don't-
of the books or anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Divergent, though, it seems to be like a society of, I don't know, teenagers and then like slightly older 20-somethings
Right.
maybe. So, of course, in reality, most of the people who are portraying teenagers are played by people in their 20s, and that's been a rule for a long time. But
I'm actually surprised they never have remade a modern, maybe they have, but a modern version of Lord of the Flies, since that seems kind of like where everything's going now.
I think the most recent was the 1990 one.
Yeah, yeah, and I
Yeah.
saw the original from the, I guess it was the 50s, 60s, and that was
Yeah.
even dark for back then. So
I never saw, I think, either of those films
Okay.
or read the book.
it's interesting because it is the dystopian.
In their entirety. Although
Yeah.
I know that actor Balthazar Getty,
Yeah.
who you never hear from anymore.
No.
And that's an understatement. I mean, you
Yeah.
didn't really hear from him
He's
by the
from-
mid-90s. even.
Right.
But and so so today we have like a lot of reboots of stuff. Predator,
Yeah.
Total Recall, RoboCop,
Yeah.
which is kind of a shame. But
Yeah, 'cause they didn't
where
really
the new
add
stuff
anything.
is concerned, it seems to be all teens, and so
Yeah. But it doesn't seem to be working because these movies. I mean, Hunger Games does well, but I'm not sure. I think there's going to be a burnout factor. I think there's a burnout with superhero movies at this point too.
Yes, that's another thing. Yeah, I feel like the superhero movies, which so they're not all teenage cast, but
Right.
It's kind of an inherently silly situation,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word. I've never really been into the superhero genre so much, although Christopher Nolan Batman films are
Sure.
a little bit different.
But it's like almost like they're making up for lost time because there was like pretty much nothing in the 80s. And then there was the Superman movies, and then Batman came, and then it was really nothing. And then all of a sudden Spider-Man hit in the early 2000s, and then it's nonstop. The
Yeah.
whole
So I mean,
Marvel universe.
Wolverine and and
X-Men,
all those
yeah.
characters were
Mhm.
around in the 80s, but
They never did anything.
there was no. There was the popular cartoon in the 90s.
Sure.
It was like I think it played at like 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It was like perfect like after school thing.
Mhm.
Also Batman at the time too.
Sure.
But I feel like there's just not a lot. It's not a lot of new material happening
No.
there, and when it does, it's somewhat wasted in my opinion by having an all teenage cast,
It's true. Yeah.
which is both sort of limiting as a setup, but also a little alienating or isolating. No, I guess I just kind of wanted to make the point that it's not my imagination. It does seem like a lot of the biggest budgets and most of the energy around anything sci-fi or fantasy today has a huge teen element to it that I think is.
But it's not good teen. It's there was always teen movies. I mean, obviously in the 80s.
That's an interesting interesting point. Yeah, I feel like until recently, teens were depicted in their natural habitat,
Sure.
as it were, as people in high school.
Exactly.
And now you hardly ever see them in high school.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I mean, there are movies like Pitch Perfect. That's college, I guess,
Mhm.
to be specific or accurate, but.
Like High School Musical.
Yeah, but they've been taken out of high schools and put into dystopian futures.
Right. Or superhero. Yeah, because
Yeah.
in the 80s, there was a ton, obviously, the John Hughes stuff, and then we were just talking about 3 O'Clock High not too long ago.
At 3 O'Clock High,
Yeah.
which is being remade. I mentioned off mic a little while ago.
Yeah.
But this time the fight is between two teachers
Oh, of course,
and,
of course.
not the students.
And then in the 90s, you had your Can't Hardly Waits and American Pies and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
It's interesting that this generation is considered in many ways to be not as grown up because they were raised by helicopter parents.
Right.
And yet they're being placed in these situations in film that are incredibly grown up.
Right. It's like Red Dawn or
Yeah.
something like that,
Right.
which they
Right.
remade and wasn't as good. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They made North Korea.
Yeah.
Everyone could agree on North Korea. I
Sure.
guess that's you.
Yeah.
If you made it Cuba, some progressives might be upset by that.
Yeah. But not.
If you make it Russia, well, they could.
Well,
make it
hell,
Russia
yeah.
now.
Russia's
But,
the big thing. So. Cool. Thank you,
Well, in
Dave.
any case-
All right. For this week, we have a newbie, and it's Kent. So welcome to the show.
Hello,
Kent.
thank you.
So you picked a great one to start with, and you're going to go with the movies you hate, but everyone else seems to enjoy.
Well, the obvious one for me is I don't like science fiction or fantasy
At all.
at all. But then I was thinking about it, and I was thinking maybe because I find it so fake.
Okay.
And because the last science, the old Star Wars and the old Clash of the Titans. I don't know if
Sure.
you remember that.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's
Harry
laughable.
Jones, yeah.
But I'm thinking maybe because I just find it so ridiculous that's why I don't like it. But maybe now with the technology and CGI and things I don't even realize or know about,
So
maybe
even
I
the
should give them a
campy
chance.
ones from like Jason the Argonauts and stuff like that didn't do it for you.
No.
Okay.
It just because it just seems so phony.
Mm-hmm.
But like I haven't seen Avatar. I haven't seen anything Harry Potter. Or
Yeah.
maybe I'm just or maybe it's a what do you call it? I'm fighting myself not to be sucked into a fantasy world.
Right. So can you get behind superhero movies?
Yeah, I saw Superman 2, and I remember liking it very much.
Okay. 1980, so that was the last superhero movie.
Well, I
That
guess
is the
so.
best one of the Christopher
Is
Reeve
it?
era.
Yeah.
To me, yeah.
Also, because I think that was the racetrack one. So they filmed that in L.A. at a racetrack.
I don't think so. I could be wrong. But
That's Tobey Maguire, right?
No.
What am I
Superman. You're thinking Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Superman 2 with Christopher Reeve. That's when Superman
no,
lost
no,
his
no.
powers. Okay, so
Spider-Man
you're not
2.
that old school. Okay, so yes, Spider-Man 2. Definitely, I remember. Yeah,
I remember liking that. Yeah.
I think that Tobey Maguire, David Gelber is on the show a lot. He's a big superhero fan, and his only beef with that was Tobey Maguire was too old. Like he wasn't a teenager,
Yeah.
and so then the reboot is supposed to have a real teenager playing
Really?
Peter Parker. So it could be
Oh.
interesting. So
Yeah.
we shall see.
I guess I suspend my disbelief better for that kind of stuff than the
For
whole-
superheroes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
So besides sci-fi and that stuff, what else? What specific movie can you think of that? Everyone's like, oh, you got to see this, and you saw it, and it was just like, oh.
That's a good question. Specific movie.
See, I put you on the spot. And this
yeah,
is good. That's what I like to
didn't-
do.
I was thinking more of genres than specific movies.
That's okay though.
I don't know. Make it for compelling.
It seems for like you'll definitely remember once we talk
Yeah,
to Mike.
exactly.
You'll remember. Oscar winners seem to be the ones that, for me personally, that that's great that they're critically acclaimed. But there's a reason why they probably don't make any money and nobody sees them.
Yeah, I was watching. Sometimes if I need to pick me up, I like to watch the Oscar monologues on YouTube.
Yes.
And they're always making references to the movie Crash.
Yeah.
That for some reason that won the Oscar, and I remember watching that thinking, oh, it's okay,
Yeah.
but this is really the best movie of the year.
I
of the
saw
hundreds
that on
come
a
out.
date, and it was awful. I mean, completely depressing. Just not and that's what wins Oscars.
Yeah.
My big go-to is in 1986, Out of Africa won Best Picture for 1985. That's fine. It was a really good movie, and people remember Meryl Streep and Robert Redford. But what are you going to watch with that? Are you going to watch that, or are you going to watch Back to the Future? You're going to watch Back to the Future, but Back to the Future will never win an Oscar.
The ultimate one for that is The Goodbye Girl.
Mm.
That won the Oscar the same year as, I don't know, I think it was a Scorsese film.
Sure.
Or maybe Raging Bull, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I mean, you're not going to watch Raging Bull 10 times,
Right.
but still.
Well, that's why I was shocked, when I heard that Rocky had won an Oscar in 70. Well, it was probably 77 Oscars, but because that doesn't seem like the type of movie that would win an Oscar. Maybe it's because it was kind of a low budget indie type film, but. Yeah, don't get me started on Oscars.
Time,
But but no, Crash would be a good one. I'm gonna mark that down. Crash is your pick.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah, that's a good
But I don't think anyone really defends Crash. I think it was just
Even
Evan's
the director,
time.
yeah.
Even the director's mother even went.
All right, cool. Well, thank you, Ken.
Thank
this
you.
was great.
Thank you for having me.
Hooray, Samantha's back. So this
I
week,
am.
and by yourself, without David. Sorry, David, but
sad.
he's not going to be on this week. So I hope he's
guess
listening to
not.
this. I know. All right, so this week we're going to do, for the new year, movies that you hate but everyone else seems to enjoy. So
This is a fun topic.
This is a fun topic.
Complain.
I think we should, well, we ended 2016 on a good note for this podcast. So let's, we'll start a little negative, but we're still having fun doing it. So, all right, what are your picks for movies that just, didn't do it for you?
So I only could come up with like one immediately
Mm-hmm.
because I tend to avoid everything that I might hate. Like,
Which is smart.
Yeah, I have a list of like actors and I like irrationally hate that I just won't go to their movies
Mm-hmm.
and I won't see certain types of movies because I'm just like that. But something that I was dragged in to see was The Social Network.
Oh, yeah.
When it came out, and I thought it was the stupidest idea for a movie ever. I will see horrible action movies. I'll see silly horror movies.
Romantic
I'll see
comedies.
anything I'll watch anything. But well, I just contradicted myself. I'll watch a lot of garbage other than certain things. But that was just one where all of the critical acclaim, the writing, the
soundtrack.
Yeah, everything was just like, oh, this is just the greatest team behind this movie and like the acting and da-da-da-da-da. But I was like, why was this even created?
Yeah. So was it that you didn't believe it even though it was based on supposedly a true story?
Yeah.
What really didn't resonate with you?
I just thought I didn't sympathize with any of the characters. I thought they were all annoying.
So even the protagonist you hated.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I just felt like initially this movie, maybe in 50 years' time, this would be an interesting like historical drama about like
just happened.
Burgeoning tech culture.
Yeah.
But no, it was something that happened just, when did it come out, in like 2010 or something?
Yeah, it was relatively recent.
So like Facebook just got popular
Right.
like 07, 08, 09, I don't know, like just with the general public. So yeah.
It'd been like if they did a MySpace movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, 2010. So yeah,
Exactly.
I mean it's already.
We might as well make a Snapchat movie
Yeah.
now. There was no point, and I thought it was just a lot of hype and a lot of just great reviews for something that I just didn't get. I was bored. I was rolling my eyes.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I'm trying to think of other movies where that happened. It seems to happen more now. It's like anything that just happened, they have to make a movie. Like,
Yeah.
Even Sully, I haven't seen it
Oh,
yet.
that was another one.
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
even going to see that.
And I love Clint Eastwood. I probably will see it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it just happened. Like,
It just
5 years ago.
happened.
Yeah.
Like, especially into, I love like true story
Yeah.
movies. I love historical dramas, but something that you could go watch a video on YouTube about. I don't need to see a 2-hour movie.
That's right.
In the theater. And
There's so many other historical things that have happened that we could make movies about.
And I don't want to watch a 2-hour movie with super fast dialogue about some nerds. So I can read about on Wikipedia. So
That's a great one. So nobody's picked that one. So that's good. So what are the actors and actresses that you refuse to go see their movies? So the intro of this podcast was my hairstylist Sarah talking about the people she hates. And unfortunately, she said Will Ferrell. But yeah, I know. So this is good. So we're gonna have.
I think Will Ferrell movies come into a lot of people's I hate these so much.
But I enjoy all of them.
I love them.
Okay, so who are the actors and actresses that you absolutely will not see their movies?
I can't deal with Ben Affleck.
Okay.
I can't deal with Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
They're two of the top.
All right.
They're cast in everything. I still haven't seen True Detective because he's in it. I just can't do it. I can't take him seriously. I can't take either of them seriously.
So is it only if they're in a starring role or if they're just in the movie at all?
Starring.
Okay, so you can still see Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Both of them are actually in that movie.
Yeah. That's an older one
Yeah.
too. So, and there was a lot more going on, but
I'm with you about Ben Affleck. So
he's just so like dry and
douchey,
just this blocky. I don't know.
I'll still see movies with him.
Personality.
But I just rewatched Chasing Amy because I got it on DVD because it was just part of the package.
Oh wow.
And it was before he really got big. But even then, I love the Jason Lee character. He's just such an ass that you gotta like him. but you could like you almost didn't want him to get Amy, like, or not, it wasn't Amy, but the girl, and it didn't.
Yeah.
You weren't rooting for him because he wasn't likable. So.
He's not likable, and he's doing the whole directing thing now. Well, he has for a while, but
yeah.
And
the McConaughey, so you won't see. Like, I really like the Lincoln Wire, but you won't see. You won't see.
Watch
All right.
anything
I'm
he's in.
not gonna.
I can't. I can't. Just his transition to dramatic acting. Good for him. He's doing well, but I'm not a fan. Sadly, also, Jennifer Lawrence is falling into that category.
Really?
Yeah. So, I think we're just like oversaturated with all the
the
star
other stuff.
stuff. So it's like I get tired of seeing these people, and I can't take them seriously as actors sometimes.
I think part of it's today's culture. So 50 years ago, when the studio controlled these actors and actresses, I think you didn't see them every day. You'd see them in the paper, but that's different than just like social media and everything.
Yeah, and you see 20 interviews about them for each movie, and it's like, oh my god, they're so funny and they're so interesting.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care.
and honestly, can you name a star that you will just go see them because they're in a movie? Like Jennifer Lawrence might be one of them now, but even her, like, I don't think people are going to go just see her. They're going to see Hunger Games because it's Hunger Games.
Yeah.
There's no more Stallones or even Clint Eastwoods or even Meryl Streep. I mean, it might be the last of the I go see her just because whatever she's in.
Yeah,
but,
it's usually decent if she's in it.
But no young actors or actresses.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe, there's, the weird fan bases.
There is.
But I think for the general public.
Yeah, there's no more go-to stars anymore. But. All right, well, thank you for joining the Debbie Downer crew. But no, those are great. Sorry, Social Network, you suck.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool? $1 billion.
Enrica's back. Yay!
Hi.
So this week we are going to start 2017 on a somewhat negative note because why not?
Because it's the worst year. No.
Well, we'll find out. So I want to know the movies that you they don't do it for you, but everyone else seems to rave about them.
Okay. So I went to high school at one of the high schools in the area that had a film program for budding filmmakers, because Woodstock has a big film community.
Yeah.
The Woodstock Film Festival is there and everything, so there's a lot of out of work film people who want to teach. So all of my friends that took these film classes would always make me watch them. And I had weird taste in movies, but one that was kind of popular among them when I was in high school was Pulp Fiction. They're like, we have to watch it. You have to watch it. It's so good. And I was like, really? Okay.
So you hadn't seen Reservoir Dogs.
I hadn't seen Reservoir Dogs. I hadn't seen... Actually, it was my first Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
I was 16 or 17, and my now fiance and his best man, Robin... who's actually now a very accomplished filmmaker, was we have to expose her to all this great art. And I was like, what? Okay. So, yeah, we watched
So was it hyped up for you before you actually saw it?
Yeah,
okay.
Totally.
Yeah.
Everybody was quoting it, the Samuel L. Jackson scenes and, just...
Lay Big Mac.
Yeah, it was the most quotable movie among my, arty friend group.
Uh-huh.
And finally, I saw it, and it was fine. I wasn't that excited about it. It seemed really, self-indulgent.
Yeah.
And a movie that I can tell I wasn't totally into it if, 10 days later, somebody asked me what it was about, and I was like, I have no idea. I could not tell you what happened in that movie.
But even people that like it, there's so many different stories going on there that's a pretty easy thing not to get. Especially if you weren't into it. So.
I think when people ask me that, did you not like it or did you just not get it? And I'm like, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
I followed it, but I think it was. I liked the dialogue. I liked the writing. I even thought it was well produced and shot and created, but. It was so hyper
masculine. It didn't have any like human themes in it. It was just like so much violence.
Oh yeah.
And I went on to see Inglourious Bastards later, a few years later. I saw Reservoir Dogs a few years later. And I liked those films. I liked a lot of like the Tarantino. I like Kill Bill.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite movies is Inglourious Bastards. So it's not that I'm like not into Tarantino.
Sure.
I think it was just that it was too hyped, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd be interesting because I saw it when it came out in high school. We had to sneak in.
Yeah.
We had to because we were 16, I think.
Yeah.
And so same age as you.
Yeah, right.
I think we
Coming
said,
of age.
yeah, exactly. We said we were going to see Forrest Gump. We bought tickets for Forrest Gump, snuck into Pulp Fiction, and I realized watching it, like, oh my god, I think I should have seen Forrest Gump because between the GIMP, between just all this crazy shit, I wasn't really waiting for. Wasn't ready for because it hadn't been hyped at all. We saw the trailer and we're like, okay, but this might be fun to go see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a different experience. I enjoyed it, but it was a lot, especially at
It's
that
a lot.
age. Yeah.
And I mean, my friends were super like avant-garde and had all this really, grotesque kind of taste in things. It was very trendy in Woodstock at the time as a kid to be like really into kind of grotesque art. But like there was something about sitting in the room with like my friends and the like first car scene is kind of barreling through and it's really fast paced and it's well done.
Yeah.
And they're just so into it. Like their energy levels are like up here and they're like really into it. And toward the end of the scene, they're like cracking up and there's blood all over the seats and like they're so like stimulated by this. And I'm just like, really? Like it was fun, but like it really stopped like at my most, like the most basic human desire for entertainment was met, you know, and then nothing else kind of was met. Does that make sense?
Did you like the soundtrack?
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
so
I really like this. I love all of the use of like music and sound in a lot of those movies. But
that's a great one. See, this is what I'm looking for. So so what other ones did you think?
So
of?
this one's a little more lighthearted, but so there was a period of time after Frozen came out that was like at its peak popularity for people that were into musicals aged 19 to 29. Like it was kind of before it exploded and became like a child's hit that there was a group of like musical fanatics who were big Idina Menzel fans who was Elphaba and Wicked. And
can you pronounce it the way John Travolta did, since we'll bring it back to...
Dazeem. The wickedly talented Adele Dazeem.
See, we connect everything here, folks. You had no idea I was going to go there with Pulp
John
Fiction.
Travolta,
Yes.
Adele Dazeem. Perfect segue.
Yes.
But so, yeah, she's one of the biggest voices in Broadway, blah, blah, blah. People were very excited. And then everybody was freaking out about it. Oh, my God, it's amazing. Feminism and the music is amazing and blah. And I liked it. I was fine. But as far as Disney movies go, like Disney musicals specifically, I enjoyed Brave a lot more. Like a lot of these kind of under the radar. I think it was like a right place, right time for Frozen.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have exploded if it hadn't been like so hyped.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I wasn't crazy about it. I think it went on way too long. I thought the ending was kind of predictable. I thought that the male characters were stupid. You know?
I still haven't seen it. Like, I didn't fall for the hype. I think it was probably too much hype for me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there was like, wait, this is kind of good period, which is when like my like musical theater friends were getting into it. Then it like exploded into like Halloween times. Everybody was being Elsa for Halloween, and then it was just there was everything, and it just exploded, and people got so oversaturated with Frozen stuff that they're like, I'm not even gonna bother seeing it.
Yeah. It's interesting what why a certain Disney movie would do better than the other. I mean,
know.
They all kind of have the same pattern, and why would that be any different than Tangled or something like that? So that's a good point.
I mean, Tangled. One thing that people were like super into about Frozen was it was not really about like finding a prince or like a prince relationship. There was not like a male
Traditional
Yeah,
fairy
it
tale.
was
Yeah.
the love story was supposed to be between the sisters, which is like an untraditional love story. The men were kind of just like on the side.
Mhm.
Fine, whatever. But that same tale was kind of told. That same theme was present in Brave, which came out 4 years before.
That's right.
Maria was like this new princess who had big curly hair. And
That's
I was
right.
like, yeah, finally! And she was really cool, and it took place in Scotland, or was it Ireland? I think it was Scotland. Yeah. And it was just like
And there were battles and
there
things
were
like that. Yeah.
battles. It was just a fun tale. And, I had a similar experience with Mulan. Everybody loved it. Everybody wanted me to see it. I was the only person who'd never seen it. And I watched it, and I was like, meh.
What's the one that's out right now that's really popular?
The Disney
movie? Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, then you haven't seen it. I won't bring it up. Okay.
After Frozen, I kind
you
of...
kind of checked out.
Done.
You had your peak. You
I'm
had
done.
You had your Lion King and all that fun
Oh
stuff.
my gosh,
Yeah.
the peak of Disney ended in like 1999. Well, actually, there was some when they team up with Pixar. There's some golden moments like Finding Nemo and Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 4 is coming out.
No,
This year or next year? It's coming soon. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know where they can go with that.
I can't handle any more sequels.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, no, I mean that's what movies today have been relegated to. It's superheroes and sequels and remakes. So.
Ugh.
Okay. What other ones did you have of those two?
Those were the main two.
Those are awesome.
Can't really think of any more because I'm very easy to entertain. So.
You were saying that, but you came up with two, and I'm proud of you. So
yeah, those two I honestly liked. It wasn't even like I didn't like them. I think it was just that it was hype that contributed.
Well, the title of this is movies you hate, but I said that just as a grabber. But it's movies that just really didn't live up to the hype. Yeah, exactly.
Didn't do it.
Yeah.
There's a bunch
One
of
and
others
done.
in there. But, most of them I remember liking.
Yeah.
One I have a very distinct memory of watching Pulp Fiction and everybody around me, really
looking at you,
loving it.
yeah.
What do you think? I'm not literally saying that, but you can feel the eyes on you, you're as the one person.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's so good.
And that makes it harder.
Clerks.
Oh, yeah.
Clerks is another one. I just thought of one.
I just watched it last week, yeah.
Yeah, another movie that my friends in high school were super into. They thought that the Clerks and Clerks 2 were both hilarious, funniest movies ever. And I watched them with my now fiance. And he really was like, we gotta watch Clerks.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. And I was like, I really can't make it through this movie.
It is a snapshot in time, like that early 90s,
It's the 90s. It's that 90 to 95 time period where it was just movies aren't about much. There's
that movie especially. I mean, it's just a day in the life of...
Yeah, I think it's the day in the life tales or these kind of real-time movies.
Yeah.
Where things are happening in real time and written to occur in real time.
Right.
And I'm just like, ugh, I need a narrative.
Yeah. And the characters aren't necessarily that likable. Even the
right.
ones that are funny,
There was something about, being entertained by the most, banal people in the 90 to 95 time.
Yeah. So did you get any other Kevin Smith movies, or was it you were done?
That was all.
So you didn't see Mallrats or...
I didn't see Mallrats.
Chasing Amy, yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
See, if I can't remember it,
Then
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So that's what I found.
Chasing Amy could have been good. It was Ben Affleck, that kind of threw it. He wasn't likable. So he's pursuing a woman that is a lesbian, and he falls in love with her. They become friends. He falls in love with her, and then
sounds familiar.
yeah.
Huh.
I love the Joey Lauren Adams character, and she's great in it. But Ben Affleck, you're not even rooting for him.
Yeah.
So that makes
I
it
feel
hard.
like that was the 90s was about. It was taking the most boring dude ever
Trying to make a star.
very few likable qualities and make him a star. God.
Welcome to the 90s.
So many missed opportunities for women throughout history.
You get Ben Affleck and that's it. Yes.
Ugh.
Well, anyway, thank you, Enrique.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being the Debbie Downer of 2017.
Very happy.
That's what I was trying to do this time. Okay, this week we're going to get negative with Gwen, and we're going to talk about the movies that were so hyped and you had to go see it and then just were let down.
Exactly.
You didn't
I like
necessarily-
negativity.
Yeah, oh, well, good. Let's start 2017 with some negative Nancy. So, what are your picks?
So one of my picks is a movie I saw recently, is Boyhood.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a 2014 coming of age film.
Right.
And it was in production for about, 12, 13 years.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was nominated for a lot of awards.
It got Best Motion Picture, Best Director, and so forth. And so there were all these accolades with it. But when I saw it, it was just so slow. And, I mean, I love the concept of having this, kid when he's 6 years old, and then you watch him grow, in real life and play the same role. The concept's great, but there wasn't much action in the film.
Right.
So I think that it probably needed a little more oomph.
Yeah. So you fell for the Oscar hype of it.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to know what it was
Sure.
about
Yeah.
and everything. So I ended up watching it on Netflix. And I was talking with a friend of mine about it, and she saw it in the movie theater. And she said that she fell asleep. And she said, well, she works as a nurse, and she thought maybe it's because she had worked a night shift. But I said, no, I don't
She's
think
being too
so.
nice to it. Yeah.
She said, oh, maybe I need to watch it again. I'm like, no, I don't think it's going to help at all. So
Watch it in the morning, because she should be awake, 11 o'clock. Watch it at 11 a.m. See what happens. Yeah.
But I don't know. It was a really long film with not much excitement. I mean, I've seen documentaries that are more exciting.
Yes.
So
That's a good one.
Yeah. So, one of the things, though, that I do want to see is there's a parody of Boyhood called Barthood, and it's based on The Simpsons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they did a parody of Bart as he grows through the years. So I think that would be much more exciting. than
So it's like the
this
farce
one.
of the Penguins instead of the whatever the March of the Penguins.
Exactly. So yeah, it had all these great reviews. It's been on like the best of lists, but for me, it just kind of fell short.
Fell flat.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. All right. And in general, this has come up a lot. A lot of Oscar-nominated, Oscar or award, worthy films. A lot of times, just there's a reason why they aren't seen. There's a lot of times they don't make money because people in general don't care. But
Right. And then then you see these like sleeper films.
Yeah.
That just like was low production, hardly had any advertising. And the classic example is the Blair Witch Project.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was when like viral marketing started because they didn't really advertise it.
Right.
On television or radio, it was just all through the internet. Then it got really hyped up, and it turned out to be a really good film. But see, that's exciting. It had like, you're at the edge of your feet compared to Boyhood, where you're just like
kind of meandering around. Look, every movie's got its place, and I'm sure some people really like kind of that long, drawn out. But yeah, it just didn't.
Yeah.
For you, it didn't resonate.
No, not at all. So
Well, that's a
sorry,
good one.
Boyhood.
Sorry, Boyhood's going to the end of the pile. So
yeah. And another one that I had was No Country for Old Men.
okay, so you didn't like that one, see?
Did you?
It's a rough film, and I saw it in the theater, and I would say I liked it, but it wasn't one I want to watch again and again. So
Right.
the acting was very well done.
Yeah, and Javier Bardem,
Which we talked about. Mr.
an Academy
AC/DC.
Award. Yeah. And I love Javier Bardem. I saw him in other films, including a lot of Spanish films.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely great. But maybe it was just I couldn't get over his hair. It was just hard to watch his hair, and so maybe that's what also turned
So was
me
it?
off to it.
I mean, it's a dark film. So and
I don't mind. I mean, I do like dark
Okay.
films. You know, I like a lot of the crime drama genre, but this one I just couldn't get into it.
there
so
aren't
much.
many. Is there any likable character in that? Because even like Josh Brolin's not likable, and
That's true.
Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if he's ever likable, even when he plays.
That's true.
Even in Men in Black.
He seems like he's always playing some kind of like sheriff or like
Yeah,
authority figure. So
permanent grouch.
yeah, but so it's interesting how it again like won all these accolades and these awards, but for me it just didn't,
Yeah.
I didn't connect with it. And it's interesting because when I used to watch all the Roger and Ebert, and even when I look at New York Times reviews on films, I always seem to disagree. And if they say something's really good, then that means I won't like it, and vice versa. If they say something's bad, then
You'll
I
probably
would
like it.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting how that works, and kind of makes me wonder, how do you become an expert, like critique?
It's really
film
changed.
critique?
We were having this conversation with Josephina Malin, how it used to be, and you grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. The Chronicle, where the guy jumping out of his chair. And,
I love that.
Yeah, those were fun, but you were kind of relegated to your local source or the national people like Siskel and Ebert and Gene Shalit and Leonard Maltin. Where now you have your Rotten Tomatoes, where it aggregates everything. So like I could have my own, Brian's,
Exactly.
and they aggregate that, which I don't know is good or bad, but it's different. It's really different.
Yeah, and you just have more bloggers.
Yeah,
too,
absolutely.
And more people to disagree with or agree with, and it's,
And why is their opinion any different than someone's a quote unquote expert? Just.
That's true, unless you studied, cinema. And,
or you're a filmmaker. Yeah.
Exactly, then you have more, say.
Right,
in
right.
it. But I love those, Herb Caen.
Oh, yeah,
And,
Mikko Sal.
yeah, and those little, pictures.
Oh, those were
and,
great. That was part of the reason I had the Chronicle for many years, just to read that.
Oh.
Just to see those guys, yeah.
Yeah, so that was, this movie just didn't do it for me, even though I do like a lot of dark films.
And you like some of those actors too, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I see that the Coen brothers made this
there you
film,
go.
which I
like
love
Fargo.
Yeah, I love Fargo. I didn't think it was slow. I even love the new Fargo that's on, a drama series on cable.
Did you see the remake of True Grit?
No.
Okay, so if you did you see the original with John Wayne?
No.
Okay, watch both of them, because
Okay.
the original is serious, but it's not. It's kind of lighthearted in a way.
Yeah.
Whereas the remake is there's no lightheartedness at all. Like it's completely dark, and
really?
pretty much holds true to the original. But I'd be interested to see how you like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So, all right.
All right.
These are great. Great as always. Always prepared. Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you.
All right, we are back with the dynamic duo of Malin and Josephine. It's been a few weeks, but I'm glad to have you guys back. And so we might as well start 2017 being negative. Let's talk about the movies that you guys don't like, but everyone seems to enjoy.
That's right. The end is nigh and your favorite movie sucks.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. It was hard, but it wasn't. Like, I almost feel bad admitting some of them, but again, that's the way this is going to go. So
there's no judgment.
There's no, you're into it or you're not.
Yeah.
So. Okay, we'll start with Josephine.
Okay.
So what are some of the movies that everyone tells you they're so great, but they just don't do it for you?
Well, the one that immediately came to my mind when I saw the topic was, because this is the one that just comes up, is almost every Wes Anderson movie after Rushmore. So I loved, is it Bottle Rocket? I love Rushmore. Mm-hmm. Everything after that, no thank you. It was just it felt too, especially the one that everyone, the Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh yeah.
It just feels too contrived quirky as opposed to like organically quirky. And then the last one I saw was Moonrise Kingdom.
Oh, Moonrise Kingdom.
Was it Moonrise? Oh, but it just felt too twee, too much. And like I think Tina Fey and Amy Poehler made some joke about Wes Anderson when they were hosting something about how he came to the awards on a bicycle made of like antique trombone parts or something. It's just like it just feels too much like that. So that's one. And then funny enough, all I had to do was to remember some of the rest was just look at the movies that won Best Picture Oscars sometimes because that's a lot. That's a lot of my list I remember from that. So another one is
that's hilarious. I did the
Atonement.
same thing.
Yeah.
Did you see Atonement?
Yes.
So I read the book and I'm a big fan of James McAvoy. He's like my forever boyfriend. And I like Keira Knightley. I hated the movie.
Yeah.
Hated it. And like another girlfriend of mine also read the book. Did you guys read the book?
No.
The book was okay. But I hated the movie. It just felt like it was just slapping you in the face, trying to like be like, do you realize what is happening? Like, do you realize this big moment that's happening? It's like, calm down. Like, I've got a brain. I can process it.
Right.
Okay.
They're hitting you over the head with it.
Yeah. And then I think maybe I just don't like that director too much, though, because I also saw Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, yeah.
The remake. I didn't like that one that much. I saw Hannah. I liked it.
Oh, yeah.
But then I saw Anna Karenina, which I thought I was going to hate, but I actually really loved that one. So maybe I'm turning. I don't know.
I think you're right about the Oscars. It's like there's a kind of a reason these haven't been seen or they're not big. I mean, every now and then you have one that's amazing and
Spotlight.
Yeah,
for sure. No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, but Crash, Crash was.
I haven't seen Crash. But
I saw it in the theater. It was a date movie one, and that was
the date also.
Yeah, it was odd, but yeah, it wasn't as bad as Seven, but yeah, that was. Yeah.
You just have to remember it's best by consensus or some form of democracy. And we know how democracy works, so
yeah.
Well, yeah. But a lot of times, there are really good movies that do well that should be recognized. But if you're any sort of like comedy, you won't get nominated.
Right.
So like Back to the Future would have never been.
It's nothing short of a miracle that Silence of the Lambs won.
Yeah.
And won as big as it did that year. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Fargo.
And I don't. And Fargo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so the other one is Her. Did you guys see Her?
No.
Spike Jonze? You're going to diss a Spike Jonze?
Yeah, I'm going to diss it.
I haven't seen it, so I can't defend it.
But, I haven't seen it.
No.
Well, okay, there's a lot of things I love about the movie. I love the color palette.
That's okay.
The cinematography. Yeah. I think, it's beautiful. There's a lot I love about it, but I'm just like... Don't send me hate mail, okay? I get tired of.
Sorry, they'll send it to me, and I won't pass it along.
Okay, so, just delete it. Just incinerate it. I get tired of kind of these movies that like really celebrate these like man children. So mean.
I get that.
But I get tired of it, and like the one thing I loved about that movie was his relationship with Amy Adams' character. That felt just so authentic and real, and just mutually supportive and great, and maybe a little bit grown up. But yeah, I got kind of tired of that. I saw it and I was like, am I just like cold-hearted? Because I'm not being as moved as everyone else in the theater, everyone else that I know that saw it.
Right.
Now I have to finally see it, and I'll come back and I'll tell you if you're cold-hearted.
We'll do a repeat episode.
So I don't know if everyone loved this one, but Interstellar.
Oh yeah, no, it seemed like a lot of people enjoyed that, and I didn't.
I didn't. It felt like very self-indulgent. Slumdog Millionaire.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, because I saw it with a friend of mine on New Year's Eve, and as the end credits were rolling, we looked at each other and we're like, that's it?
Because didn't that win a bunch of awards, too?
That one, I think.
It absolutely did. It got Best Picture, I think, right?
Did it?
Yeah.
I felt like it did. No?
It was nominated for sure.
Okay. And then this is the trifecta. Maybe I'm just prejudiced against this guy, but Gone Baby Gone, The Town, and Argo.
Oh, really?
So I think, I didn't hate the movies, but I definitely felt they were way overhyped. I think maybe it's like the Ben Affleck machine or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, Gone Baby Gone, that was one that I think we discussed this before. Too many fake endings.
Yeah.
Like I was over it after the second fake ending.
Right.
No.
Did you
too
read?
much.
Did you read the book?
Mm-mm.
Okay, because I wonder if the book if it held true to the
If
book
it had
or not.
5 big endings.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause that's it. If you're reading that, you're like, come on, yeah.
So the other one, Gone with the Wind. Not into
I'm
it.
with you.
Yeah.
I get it.
I
get
agree.
what. Yeah, but I can't root for her. I can't stand Scarlet, and it's really too long.
Yeah, too long.
Yeah.
Plus, it was up against Dark Victory and Wizard of Oz
Yes.
that year,
Yeah.
as well as Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Yeah.
So,
And all of them are better.
Yeah.
in my
Just
opinion,
throw a stone and pick another nominee.
Yeah, like Wizard of Oz, it wasn't at the time a huge, groundbreaking thing. Now it is. Now you watch it and everything is amazing. But back then it was just another Judy Garland movie,
Yeah.
She was the Andy Hardy girl. So, yeah, it's interesting how that didn't win any awards, but that definitely holds up as well as any of the movies back then. So
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah. The Star Trek reboot.
Oh,
J.J.
yeah.
Abrams one.
Yeah.
And that was funny because I saw it, I liked it, didn't love it, I liked it. And then I read this, I don't know if you guys are into comedy, but this comedian, Matt Weinhold, he wrote this essay on Comedy Film Nerds called Why You're Wrong About Star Trek. And he laid down, everything that was wrong with it. And you know what? I was like, you know what? He was right.
He
It wasn't
swayed your
that he
opinion.
swayed me. And he got me. And the other one is almost all Woody Allen movies.
Really?
Yeah,
even
so
Annie
I would
Hall
say
and,
I'd say Annie Hall. I
Okay.
like. My favorite is Crimes and Misdemeanors.
Okay.
But I feel like after you've seen maybe 4 or 5 of his,
Mm-hmm.
the rest are just.
they follow the same path, yeah.
And I just no.
Did you ever see Take the Money and Run?
Yeah, that was my
that's my
early
favorite.
favorite.
Yeah.
When it was just like, God, he didn't have that many movies out,
Right.
And it was you had to choose basically a favorite between Take the Money and Run and Purple Rose of Cairo,
Right.
Like something else.
But it's I don't know if you ever heard of stand up.
Oh, Stardust Memories.
In the mid '60s. It's a lot like his stand up act. So it's all these punchlines and one liners, and that's still one of my favorite Woody Allen movies. But I get it. I get why I can see why people.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So this one was interesting because as I was starting to think about it, I realized, wait, usually I'm thinking about films I like that nobody else likes. And
Right.
I'm in a defensive position. Now I have to be more antagonistic
That's
about
right.
this episode. And I know that I get teed off around Oscar season. So I did. I went and I looked at all of the, the unworthy winners and whatever. And I don't know. I actually didn't pick too many from that. Gone with the Wind was one. And Argo, I totally agree with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Django Unchained and Amour. Amour was nominated that. I loved Amour.
Mm-hmm.
I have this funny story. So Amour, I saw in Los Angeles, and I'm walking out of this theater near Irvine in the middle of the night, and this couple, a guy and a girl, come up to me in the parking lot out of nowhere, and she's like, "Did you just see Amour?" Maybe she sensed, that I was stumbling emotionally, wrecked out of this heart-wrenching movie, and that it must have been Amour because who knows what else was playing. And I said, "Yeah, I just saw it." She said, "Oh, I hated that film. That movie makes no sense." And I just emotionally wrecked because it had meant quite a lot to me. I really liked it, and was processing it as I'm walking out into the night. And she just absolutely hated it, and I couldn't understand. And I guess she just didn't get the ending, which I didn't feel was that terribly ambiguous. But I could understand how she might not have understood it. That was kind of strange. Well, Amour could have and should have easily beaten Argo, but they don't like to have foreign films win Best Picture, but they will nominate them.
Except for
there's
The Artist.
The Artist, but it was silent, so it did, yeah. So.
And it was about Hollywood.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But I did really enjoy The Artist. I thought that was a lot of fun. So I love the dog.
So that, and I'm going to throw in, since we're talking about Oscars, Beautiful Mind, only because I have a grudge.
Okay.
Not because my favorite film that year was nominated as Best Picture, because it wasn't, but Mulholland Drive, I feel, was overlooked as a nominee and a winner that year. In my book, that was the clear winner. It should have a better profile on the Oscars history, but, whatever. All right, moving along. Some good ones, I think, that I absolutely hate, that I feel like people love. So maybe people don't actually love them. Maybe I just think people love them, irresponsibly, but I hate Borat. That has got to be the stupidest, crudest, awfulest film ever. And I went and I saw that in El Cerrito with my husband, and we were halfway through. We were already talking about leaving early, and I can't remember if we did or not. we should have, because it only got worse.
It's one of those cringe movies where you're just like, yeah, I go.
That is.
Aren't they trying to kind of
Oh,
push
yeah.
that?
Oh,
and make
absolutely.
Oh, they
it-
absolutely
Yeah.
are.
They're trying to embarrass people.
But, you know, and I hope that I can get something out of cringeworthy humor for a purpose, for a reason, with a message.
Mhm.
And that was just like, really?
Yeah, for the same.
I'm not getting anything out of this except more and more disgust and hatred for humanity.
So did you know about him in like the Ollie G show before he did Borat? 'Cause-
No, I didn't.
Okay, so he was
I
doing
found
these
out
characters,
after.
before that.
I found
so,
out after. So I went into that kind of cold.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best situation
Mhm.
to go into.
No, but I get that.
film cold.
Yeah.
That movie sucks.
So like a lot of people, some people like Borat. They hate. What was the second one?
The homophobic one?
Yes. What was his name?
I don't know.
I forgot that one. But yeah, they
Bruno?
Bruno. They hated
Bruno.
Bruno. Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Well, yeah. If you didn't like Borat,
No,
you're gonna hate Bruno.
I
So, yeah.
didn't think I could do it.
No, he's not your cup of tea. So.
Okay, so Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Mm.
That movie sucks. And the production values, it's like they get diminishingly worse as the movie goes through. Anthony Hopkins is wasted in it. Keanu Reeves does another,
Well, there you go.
like, eggplant into a period film. I mean, you put Keanu Reeves in any period film, and that sucker's going to tank. Well, it's not that it's going to tank, but for me, I'm just going to... Dangerous Liaisons, 2 minutes of screen time, and I'm like, disbelief out the window. Every time he comes on screen, I'm like, okay, yeah,
Well,
Ted.
what was the movie he was in with Charlize Theron? What was that called? With Al Pacino?
with the devil.
Yes, but yeah, you kind
Devil's
of
Advocate?
Devil's Advocate. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was another one that could have been good, and Keanu was the main actor.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? In Keanu's defense,
Okay.
he is really good in John Wick, the John Wick
That's
movies.
what you're
Right, I
saying.
remember
So,
he said, and I
Yeah.
will give him that he can be good in a film when he's playing Keanu Reeves.
Right.
Brilliant in a film, as long as he's playing Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I think I heard someone say that like the Matrix works, especially the first one, because he's so overwhelmed by like what's going on. Like it's not that. You know what I mean?
Not even
It's
he
like
could
this-
script that film. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So I'm going to use that as a segue, because my I have lower on the list, I have The Matrix. Not, so...
The first one or the whole
first
trilogy?
One. I never got to the other ones.
Ah,
The
okay.
Matrix just puts me to sleep. So I have tried. Now, this is like, I know people like it, but I could never get into it. It always put me to sleep. Like, it put me to sleep. Literally. I'm not saying it bored me. I fell asleep. I can never get, through like 20 minutes of it. I don't know. Is it a particularly boring film? I don't know. It bored me.
Yeah.
And what I did see of it and what I understand of it, I wasn't particularly interested in all. I guess, I don't know, I get it. I hate it. It's stupid.
That's okay. This is what this is about.
Now, one of these days, I bet you, now that I've said this, now that I've committed it to a recording, I bet you I will see that movie someday, and I'll be like, oh my goodness, this isn't that bad.
Yeah.
I like it, So one of these days, I'm going to get my karmic comeuppance for The Matrix.
But that's okay. I mean,
but as of now, I can't get into it.
Movies and music, there's times when, just whatever your initial reaction and whatever you are at that point in your life, you could like or not like something, go back and it could be completely different for you. So
yeah, absolutely. Like I talked about with the Goonies and E.T. Completely different opinions going back to it.
Yeah.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Did people like that movie? It
was successful.
It was successful, but it sucked.
Yeah.
My tastes at that age, when I was like super young, were so different than they are
now.
Now it's on Netflix, and I like no. It's just been too embarrassing for me because I remember like, oh, I loved it, but I mean, I remember when Pretty Woman came out, like I loved that movie. I remember all my friends loved it, and then. That time, I saw my brother reading movie reviews, and I had never seen them before. And he's just like, "Oh yeah, they just talk about how movies are good." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna look at Pretty Woman. I bet it's gonna be like the guy jumping."
From the San
seat.
Francisco Chronicle.
Yeah, and it was like I think the sleeping guy. And
It's so bad.
Yeah, and I couldn't like. That's when I realized, okay, wait, criticism is necessary. It does not really reflect like popular opinion. But that's a movie where I can't remember that far back, but I remember, like loving it. Now I'm like, because Kevin Costner is
and Bryan Adams with the theme song.
Yeah.
What?
Everything I do for you.
I know, but that's something that gets me is like anachronistic soundtracks. Like, what's going on there? And totally American Robin Hood. Totally American Robin Hood.
Yeah.
What?
And I don't want to forget this. So speaking of the Chronicle, and I used to love the guy jumping out of the seat.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never forget. It was right around the same era. Mick LaSalle, I'm pretty sure, had for Dancing with Wolves the guy sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay, which is fine. If you're not into it, you're not into it. I get that. But then he had, I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out. He wasn't jumping out of the seat, but he was applauding. It was like, what? Like, okay, fine. Yeah, take it with a grain of salt. But, yeah.
That's why you have to look at reviews and like aggregate.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Back in the day, there was no Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, you had whatever your local. News
I remember
was.
like watching Siskel and Ebert, and sometimes I was
they
like, they're on my side, and then I'd be like, I've been betrayed, and like Ebert would like go against me, or Siskel, or
one of my ex-boyfriends. He's from Illinois, and he wrote to Roger Ebert disagreeing with him about a movie, and Roger Ebert wrote back to him and kind of just explained why he wrote the way he did.
Thought process. That's awesome they did that.
I've heard so many stories like that about Roger Ebert. Like, you know that director, Ava DuVernay? Mm-hmm. She directed Selma, and she directed The 13th. But she was on his documentary, and she said when she was, like, really young, her aunt, who's also, like, a really big movie nerd, took her to the Oscars, and she saw her and she was like, hey, what's up, thumbs up, and he came over and like took a photo with her, and then she like sent it to him, and it was just I've heard a lot of stories like that about him.
That's awesome. That's anyway. Cool. They would take the time to actually write back and give a thoughtful response. That's cool. Yeah, it used to be. I mean, Siskel and Ebert, Leonard Maltin, like all those guys, like they.
Who was the guy with the whoop hair?
Oh, Gene Shalit.
I think so, yeah.
He had the huge eyebrows and the mustache.
Yeah.
I mean, they were big deals.
Amazing voice.
Yeah. And then locally, do you remember Jan Wall?
The Hat Lady.
The Hat Lady, yeah. She used to have her own Hollywood radio show.
But I felt like, and my brother felt like this too, she clings too much to, she swayed toward movies that are very old Hollywood.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's like things that are a little bit like quirky, like I don't know how would you even think about like Drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So it's...
I know I think she might have a short, like 5-minute thing she does for maybe KCBS or KGO. So I don't know. I haven't listened to her in in 20 years. But yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, she definitely skewed towards old. But yeah. But the Hat Lady, yeah. Okay, now to
I didn't grow up in the area, so I don't know the Hat Lady. I missed out clearly. Let's see. Is it Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, American Robin Hood? Oh, wreck. Avatar. Okay,
I'm with you with Avatar.
If you want to make your own Avatar, make 3 movies, and then take all the characters and basically the script, reconfigure it, jumble it all together, throw it in like a bottle box, shake really, really hard, and then throw it out on the table, and you have your own Avatar. So I went and I saw that in San Francisco at the Kabuki Theater with fellow film nerd and film snob, I should admit, yes, film snobs of mine, and we just cackled the entire way through because it was so obvious how many of the characters and the lines and the story arcs were mined from basically Titanic, The Abyss, and Aliens. You take those 3 movies, you mash them together, and you have Avatar. And you just make some characters.
So it's like his other James Cameron movies plus Ridley Scott.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, because Aliens is James Cameron.
That's true. The sequel is.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said Alien. Is Alien Ridley Scott? No.
Alien is Scott.
Yeah.
Aliens is Cameron.
Oh, so he just referenced his own movies.
Yes. Yeah. So So if you wanted to do that, and we cackled the entire way through because like by I think maybe 20 minutes into the film, we knew which character was going to have like the emotional death,
right?
Because we'd already seen it in a film before. So yeah, I don't know what was so great about that movie because I know a lot of people liked it, but it was
visually
endless and repetitive if you'd seen any Cameron before. Right. So it's kind of pointless.
Like I don't get anyone that doesn't have a 3D TV that would have bought the movie and watched it repeatedly. Like I get it. I get the visual experience of going to the theater, but I don't. Yeah.
It was nice seeing it in the theater. Not that I remember it. I remember hating it. Oh, I do remember a movie I walked out on. Legends of the Fall.
Oh.
That sucked. That was horrible.
Yeah.
I was really mad that I paid to see it, so I walked out on it.
Yeah, that was like, what, mid-90s?
I don't remember.
Early 90s?
Yeah.
It's one of his early films.
It's probably like
that was
95.
Like the height of his popular, Brangelina, I guess, is also the height of it. That was like when he was like the sexiest man alive and stuff, right?
The lights have gone out here for the listening audience, but and
so
we're waving our hands.
We're
We think
flailing.
that's all right. We'll just do this in the dark.
That's okay. Well, we watch movies in
That's
the dark.
right. That's it. Actually, this is perfect.
Okay, so wait, so I just dissed Avatar. I have a list of these. So, Coming to America, I hate that.
No
it's
way!
It's my husband's favorite movie.
Uh-huh.
So I think I have like more hatred for it than I would because he wants to watch it like more than once a year, and I don't have the stomach for that movie more than once a year. It's not funny. It's patently like unfunny to me.
You don't like the soul glow and the barbershop scenes, and I do like.
Yeah, I like them. Okay, it's like.
So if you had to choose between Beverly Hills Cop, 48 Hours, and definitely Coming to America, which I consider his 3 best movies, but
okay, so let's roll this back. So Keanu Reeves, Kevin Costner, and Eddie Murphy are not my favorite actors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that about Costner. I've always had a soft spot for Costner because I like sports movies. But
Field of Dreams,
yeah.
yes.
That's not even really a
Yeah.
sports movie. That's more of a he's getting in touch with his feelings about his dad and what was lost and stuff like that. But I mean, baseball's thrown in. But it's not like Bull Durham or Tin Cup or
Bull Durham.
I really like Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
Unless I rewatch it.
It's a long movie. That's a long one.
Yeah, and I like Mary McDonald a lot.
Yeah. We're going to eventually do movies that are way too long. That is on the list.
Okay, Avatar.
Like in terms of like, it had a long story to tell, or too long as in too self-indulgent?
It can be both because, both.
Okay.
Yeah, because that could be fun. It could be just, it was an hour and 45 minutes, it was too long, you never know. So. Well, mine are any Judd Apatow movie. It's way, I mean,
I could see that.
Yeah. I mean, any comedy over 90 minutes, you're pushing it, so. Yeah. In my opinion. So.
Yeah, there are a couple of exceptions to that. But
There always is. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let me see. Okay, a couple of Tim Burton's, because Tim Burton I find... I just think he has so much potential, but he's perpetually disappointing. Sleepy Hollow. Talk about movies that destroy themselves in the third act with unnecessarily complicated exposition. I mean, talk about poor Miranda Richardson at the end of that movie, just bogged down with such useless and unnecessary exposition. I mean, it's those scenes that just really shout to the audience that you are so stupid you could never possibly have understood everything that has come before, or the emotional weight that it has on this character, because we can't possibly be bothered to act these things out subtly or whatever. So so Sleepy Hollow I love up until like the third act. That's like a final act disappointment.
That was Johnny Depp, right?
Yeah, it was.
Christina Ricci.
Yeah. I mean, that movie it's got a lot of great moments, but it's one of those things that's the moments are greater than the sum of its parts, if that makes any sense. And it's all just falls apart at the end. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the CGI transitions from like one scene to the next ruin it for me. So it turns it into like this vignette of clever little things that I want to like, but don't like nearly as much. And then there's just one shot at the end where all of the kids are walking out of the factory safe. I much would have preferred it just to clip that out and leave it ambiguous like they did it in the original.
Yeah.
If you choose to think that those naughty children have gotten their comeuppance and been completely destroyed or whatever.
It's up to you to
realize, it's up to you to decide. Yeah, and you can imagine your way out of that if you're soft.
So I take it you really enjoyed the original.
Oh, absolutely.
So that might also clouded.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally admit that. Yeah. However, it does go back to my disappointment in Tim Burton sometimes not being as dark as I think he could be. An exception to that. An exception to that, though, where I do think he does go dark, but I still don't like it, is Sweeney Todd. Because that's an instance where I feel like he would have done better to, rather than create a cartoonish film about a really horrible and kind of beautiful subject matter, he should have just done the claymation, because he created a film that feels like it should have been claymation, with performers that can't sing, and all of the most kind of pivotal songs just fall flat, and that's a film where I want to like it, and I just can't because it's so. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. The orchestrations. This is the worst thing about it. The orchestrations are so beautiful for that because they went all out. And usually, you see it in a musical format. You see it with a limited orchestra. And Tunick, who did the original Broadway orchestrations, went back for the film, and he just went all out. And it's such a sumptuous, beautiful score with mediocre or usually less singing on top of it. So, well, at least in terms of Sweeney Todd, he just didn't even try to sing his way through that film.
I love that you guys really put in the work here. You guys have a great list.
I have inner hatred and I'm just venting it.
I was going to go the opposite and say, my love for movies is pure.
Yeah, there you go. I'm glad you guys are playing along. This is good. Yeah.
Oh, no, this is tremendous fun. It's getting out some of my 216
there you go.
aggression as well.
2017 is for.
Pirates of the Caribbean could fall into it's just too long for its own good. I just didn't find it interesting. And it's just so repetitive. I felt like Monsters Incorporated, once they establish the geographic kind of boundaries of the narrative, the places that they visit, they go back and forth between those places over and over and over again. Are you trapped in a loop? In that film and Monsters Incorporated, it's how many times can you go to the same place to do something you should have done before? Point Break. This is
the original.
The original. Yeah, okay. I haven't seen the new one.
Well, Keanu. So, there you go. There's a theme here.
So this is a movie. This is a movie that I love to hate because as a skydiver, it's absolutely preposterous.
Yeah.
They have this 5-minute free fall where they're talking to each other. I think a lot of skydivers just love to hate this movie.
Oh, sure.
But really love it. I don't love it. I just love to hate it. Yeah. So it's just absolutely ridiculous. Keanu Reeves again. Keanu Reeves doesn't ruin this movie. Mm-hmm. It's just the absolute absurdity of that film that kills it.
Well, Gary Busey's in it too, so
he might kill it for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Catherine Bigelow. Yeah.
Catherine Bigelow, James Cameron's ex-wife.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just saw a great Catherine Bigelow movie that I'd forgotten about. Did you ever see Blue Steel with Jamie Lee Curtis?
And Ron Silver?
Yeah, he is so twisted.
That was the craziest. That freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah. And the shots are beautiful. Really, really well done. So if you want to see a great, gritty serial killer, Jamie Lee Curtis is a new cop.
Yeah.
And Silver is just this twisted guy who ends up getting her gun after a botched robbery. And then goes on a killing spree and then starts stalking her. But it's really, really well done. And it's one of her early films.
Jamie Lee Curtis is another one that she can do comedy.
Oh, yeah.
And
serious.
She's brilliant.
With Fish Called Wanda.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And do these really serious, heavy things. She's great.
I did just see a crazy Jamie Lee Curtis movie, totally 80s. Did you ever see Perfect with her and John Travolta? It's all the aerobics craze of the mid '80s. It was based on Rolling Stone magazine articles from the '70s, and it was just Jan Winters in it, who was the editor of Rolling Stone. It is so great. It's literally there's 20 minutes of her just doing aerobics. And I was like, come on, guys, you couldn't cut this down by 15 minutes, but it's absolutely priceless. So I had to watch it just because it was so bad 80s. But
that sounds fun. But I think I'll see Blue Steel.
Yeah, definitely see Blue Steel first. Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I've only got a couple more, I hope. So Point Break, that's like I said, that's one that I hate, but the community of people that I am around love it.
Love it. Okay.
So I feel a little bit guilty admitting that one. Here's another one that I feel kind of guilty admitting that I hate, because a lot of the circles that I run in outside of work and whatever love it, and I don't know why. Showgirls.
Really?
Yeah. I know that's a movie that a lot of people love to hate.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people they love that movie.
Did you see it in
I
the
don't
theater?
like it so much so that I don't admit to a lot of people how much I hate that film. I've admitted it to my best friend and to you in the room.
Now, why do they?
So you might have to edit this out so that nobody finds out. But
I want to know why they like it.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know anything that actually.
But isn't that a movie that you're supposed to? you're kind of supposed to hate watch it or
Mhm.
not supposed
That's-
to take it too seriously.
yeah.
No, I'm talking about people who just love this movie for what it
Okay.
is.
Well, I've
For-
told this
for what
story
it
on the
is,
I
yeah.
told this story on the podcast. I've seen it. I saw it in the theater,
Yeah.
and it melted like 3/4 of the like 2/3 of the way in. And
So you had an easy out. Did you
yeah,
go for it?
and they didn't. They just gave us a free ticket, and we left. And I still don't know how it ends. So that's
It
yeah.
ends poorly.
But yeah, I had just turned 17, so that's why we were all going to yeah.
So you know that one of my big icons is Peaches Christ,
Mhm.
and she's a drag queen in San Francisco that
Mhm.
runs a movie series, and her favorite film is Showgirls. Her favorite film is Showgirls, and she shows it annually. And I volunteer for the PCP Films, which is Peaches Christ Productions,
Mhm.
and so I get to see this once a year. And this year, for the anniversary, they did the musical version of it with one of the original performers from the Broadway production, the off-Broadway production. And that was much more tongue-in-cheek and kind of self-aware and much more fun for me. But the movie, I just... I don't think I can stand to see Agent Dale Cooper in a pool or even in Las Vegas. It's so creepy. But, it's, if there were nothing else happening wrong in that film,
Well,
that would be enough
so
to
not
scar
Elizabeth
me.
Berkley, but the other lead actress. I can't. Her name isn't coming to me right now. But
Yeah.
she's a brunette.
Mhm.
She was good in it. I liked her
Yeah,
in
I
it,
actually saw a clip of that film, and I realized, wow,
Is that
she was
Gina
actually...
Gershon?
Gina Gershon.
Yeah,
she's actually very good.
She
in
was
it.
pretty good in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Elizabeth Berkley, I guess, has disavowed
Straight
any
from
knowledge
Saved by the
of the
Bell
film
to-
since
yeah.
then. Yeah.
No, do they
she's-
ever show Striptease then from Demi Moore? Because that's kind of like a
No, they haven't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. They
Burt
have
Reynolds.
similar posters, or I don't know. No, they haven't shown Striptease.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
That might be
good
one
enough
for
Peaches.
good enough.
Well,
Yeah.
wait a minute. So sorry to.
Yeah.
Showgirls. That's the one written by Joe Esther.
Yeah.
Esther.
Yeah.
He
That's right.
he,
That's
he,
right,
wrote,
yeah.
he wrote Basic Instinct
Mhm.
too,
Yes.
right? And didn't he also write? Is it Jade? The one David Caruso, the one that
I think
is
you're
that
right.
the one
Maybe,
that takes
yeah.
place in San Francisco? That is just like, I mean, if he also, I think I can, without having seen
Yeah.
Showgirls, I can almost picture what that
Yeah,
movie
well,
is
imagine
like.
it. That career started at Basic Instinct, right? And is a downward trajectory. Right, as Basic Instinct,
Mhm.
then Showgirls, and then Jade. I think if I have the chronology in my mind correct, I might not.
Yeah.
He did Showgirls. He did Flashdance. Silver.
Silver. Oh,
That was-
another Sharon
oh,
Stone.
yeah.
Billy Baldwin.
Jagged Edge was good. I like Jagged Edge. That was with Glenn
Jeff
Close.
Oh,
Bridges.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was kind of a thriller. Jade, yeah.
Jade.
1995.
Yeah, okay.
And Nowhere to Run with Jean-Claude Van Damme. So there you go. I also did Basic Instinct 2. Never mind.
It is such important validation when the original creatives come back to do the sequel.
Michael Douglas was
No.
in a lot of those creepy, like Basic Instinct, Fatal Attraction, Disclosure. Like he was in a lot of those type of.
Or there was this.
That was like his
Michael
heyday,
Douglas. Like he was in a lot of those kind. Yeah, that was his heyday.
Yeah.
Those kind of those sexual thriller type
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Because I guess everyone at that time wanted to see him naked. Which I don't know, yeah.
He was in another one that was. It was a remake of a Hitchcock movie with Gwyneth Paltrow. It was like.
Oh, Perfect Murder.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know what it was a remake of, but it was definitely a Hitchcock movie. But yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
One more, and then I have light at the end of the tunnel. Independence Day. I hated the original Independence Day.
You were reaching back. I hadn't even thought of this stuff in so long.
I mean, that was another movie where I was just like sitting in the theater. I was like, I'm done. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Before the first building blew up, I was like ready to go. And then after that, I think when Harvey Fierstein got it, I was like, okay, I'm ready. That's it.
I don't know how you guys research your list, but I went back on all my Netflix ratings and like tried to find my 2s and 1s, and yeah, that was fun to
is
do
awesome.
because I totally like some came up. I'm like, oh yeah, really didn't like this movie.
I
so.
have a simple explanation for me. I hold a flipping grudge.
I can tell. I know.
And the funny thing is, so after we have these interviews, I know as soon as I get to that door, you're going to turn that off the recorder.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to the door, and I'm like, God, I know, I have so much more hatred in me. There's so many more movies. They're all going to come to me. And that's sad, but anyway, so those were the ones that really leaped out to me.
Yeah.
I hate those movies. But I wanted to end...
on a positive
on a positive
That's
note.
not this
And is
episode,
gonna
though.
No, I know it's not. That's why I have to take a complete left turn. But, so as I mentioned, I get to the door after these interviews, and I'm like, oh, no, I forgot. So and I've been good about not bringing these up. I'm just usually just whatever I come up with when I get to the door, I just leave it. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll have another opportunity in another life. But there's one that I can't get over. On the episode that you did for Best Sequels.
Yes.
There's one that I didn't mention, and frankly, I don't know if anybody else mentioned it. But I think maybe one of the best sequels ever, and ranks up there in my mind with Godfather 2 and Aliens. And I'm surprised you didn't mention it, Brian.
Okay.
The Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, that's I didn't even think of any of the monster movies, but that's a great point. That
The
is
Bride
right.
of Frankenstein is so much better than almost maybe any of the other Universal horror films, and maybe better than most films through like the 30s.
I think I brought these up in the scary movie, but you're right. I mean, Bride of Frankenstein, even the one after, I think it was Son of Frankenstein.
Yeah,
with because that was the one that was mimicked a lot by or parodied by Young Frankenstein. So like the Lionel Atkins or Atwell scene where his he's got the fake arm and everything. So the first three Frankenstein movies are really good. You're right. That's Thank you for reminding me. Yes.
So that was one exception that I felt was just needed universal acknowledgement.
Yeah. No, you're right, because I can't think of other sequels for those old monster movies that hold up well, or if not better than the original.
Yeah, and maybe that one should have gotten Best Picture nod.
Yeah,
nomination, not a win. Maybe not a win, but a nod.
Bride was great because you really saw the change of the monster, and he had a heart, and where I think that was one where he visited the old blind man, and that was out.
Yeah, so much of what we think of as being coming out of the original Frankenstein film
really came from Bride.
In that one.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great one. Do you have any more, Josephine? Not to leave you hanging.
I think that was it. That I can think of.
You guys have a lot though, so this is good. So I don't even know what I can edit. So this might be a full-on, might be one episode with you guys. So thank you so much. See you next week. Thank you to everyone that appeared on the show this week. I do have a few more movie series that I've never really appealed to me. One is Monty Python. I know I hear the gasps in the room, and I kind of let it slip with Malin and Josephine. But yeah, I mean, The Life of Brian. Tried to watch it. Maybe it's the British humor that, some of the stuff's really funny, and the spam and all that stuff. And yeah, it's great. But no, this movie, or the trilogy I tried to watch, and it just does not resonate with me. Sorry. Harry Potter, didn't read the books, don't care about the movies, I don't care about sorcery. Sorry, Mom, but Harry Potter, sorry. And then, of course, if I didn't like Harry Potter, do you think I liked Lord of the Rings? No. Anyway, so that's it for this week. Thank you for listening. Hopefully we didn't piss you off about movies that we should have loved. But hey, it's a personal preference. You're not going to like everything. But that's what this podcast is about, to have fun discussions like this and have a lively but respectful debate. Now for the plugs. You got to go to iTunes. You got to subscribe there. You can rate and review the show. We could really use it. So also go to Podbean at damngoodmoviememories.podbean.com. You can go to our Facebook page so you can get all the updates. And of course, you can always look at our YouTube page. All right, until next week. This is Brian signing off.
Adele, Dazim.
Okay, so we're going to do some bonus coverage for all you super fans out there with Kent. And so he has gone back and listened to some of the podcasts. And for this, he has, his first movie?
My first movie.
Yeah, in a theater.
My parents and I are always cracking up about this. The first movie I ever saw was about a talking bear. It's called Toklat. Oh, nobody's ever heard of it. I promise you.
What year is this?
73, maybe.
Okay.
So I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I don't know what my mom was thinking that I'd want to see this, but we went in the theater, we sat down, we started watching it, and I asked my mother, I said, "Do you have to pay to leave the cinema?" Because I noticed we had to pay to get in, and she goes, "No," and I go, "Okay," and I said, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom, and then I walked out of the cinema and walked back across a busy street and to the car, and I sat on the car. And just sat there and waited. And then my mother came out like 30 minutes later, all frantic. Like, where were you? What happened to you? And I said, "Oh, I didn't like the movie, and I thought you did, so I decided to let you enjoy it." And
What a nice kid! So if you're ever on a date, would you do the same thing? I thought you were like, I'm gonna take off, but
I'll just sit in the back.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great story. So, what was the second movie? What was the movie you actually remember liking? The first movie you saw in the theater?
Well, I'm a local boy in Sunnyvale, and we went to the Hacienda Cinemas a lot, which was El Camino and Wolf. And I remember watching the Smokey and the Bandit films. Those were fun.
Sally Field and Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, and we try to not sneak in, but we try to see the second showing for free. So we go to the bathroom in between shows and try to watch it again, or just cornball stuff.
It depends. I've never been to that one, so I grew up in Belmont. But I don't know. Was it a giant theater?
No, okay. Just two screens.
Wow, you wouldn't get caught for that? I mean,
yeah, I don't remember what we did, but we were so, every quarter was everything then. So whatever we had to do, we did.
It was totally different back then. I missed that because movies would be in a theater for 6 months, sometimes a year if it was really popular. And now it's like literally 3 weeks, and even a good movie will be gone in a month.
Right.
So it's crazy. It's absolutely changed. But that's a great story. So I'm going to put this in the end, and people will enjoy this.
Right.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.
By summer, Toklat decided he had had just about enough. He was determined that nobody was going to get the best of him ever again. Thinking he was alone, he set up a training camp and grabbed any sparring partner he could find. He attacked another poor sap to prove that he was a grizzly critter, strong, savage, and ferocious. Squirrel wasn't too impressed, but she wouldn't expose him.
Blech.